Om Shri Sai Ram. Prashanti Nilayam from July 23rd to August 3rd, 2025 witnessed a unique week-long Partiyatra by devotees from Zone 6 comprising of United Kingdom and several European nations like France, Italy, Spain, Norway, Netherlands, Northern Ireland and so on. Over 500 devotees for 7 consecutive days made a rich offering of several cultural presentations at Bhagwan's lotus feet. We had the opportunity to interact with some of the office bearers of this region, and they shared with us thrilling stories of how they felt the unseen hand of Bhagwan during this pilgrimage, the miracles that unfolded to make this possible, and the way little children rose to the occasion and made tremendous sacrifices for their beloved Swami in this year of his grand 100th birthday.
For me, it's been life-transforming, life-changing, and it takes me back to all those wonderful moments with Bhagavan, years ago when we used to bring other pilgrimages. And when I look at the faces of the devotees, the children's choir, the Italians and the Spanish that sang, it's so moving because we just had a meeting where Sri Ratnakar, managing trustee, addressed all the pilgrims, and he was saying that after 10 years such a big group has come across many countries, and the thing that really did it for me was he said, you do not need an invitation. You do not need to come on a pilgrimage. The doors of Prashanti Nilayam are open for every one of you, and that was very, very moving, and because this is our home.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, following from Shitubai, I think this has been an extra special one. With Swami's grace, I think most of us have been on many pilgrimages, but this is not any other pilgrimage. It's not any other year. It's the 100th year of our dearest Lord. And I think that's been the biggest, attraction, or, the strings of our hearts have been pulled. To be here this year has been extra special. And I think we have many new devotees. Many people have come for the first time to India, to Prashanti Nilayam as well. And it's lovely to see their experiences. It kind of reminds us when we went first time in the 90s, for example. So yes, a fantastic opportunity to be here, all of us.
And there are people from so many countries, right? From Europe, and many of them coming for the first time. So how has been the experience of these people?
Sairam, from a Spanish perspective, this is a milestone for the zone. It is a wonderful moment. And I am so thankful for all the organization and all the effort that we all put in, especially our UK brothers. But from a Spanish viewpoint, this is very significant because this was the first time that some Spanish words were spoken in the cycle One Whole Day. So it was momentous, for all the Spanish devotees. And the fact that we used to hold many bhajan sessions in the mandir, and in the cycle One Hall in the 90s, in the 2000s, with all the Spanish-speaking countries, because Spanish is spoken by 500 million people across 20 countries officially and extra-officially in the United States. So the fact that this language found its place again after more than 3 decades in being at the center point, it's very, very momentous for us in Spain. And I think it tells really about how the zone caters to its diversity, because we have so many languages, exceptionally so many. The EU itself has 27 official languages. So from a Spanish perspective, it's an unmatched moment.
When I think about it, United Kingdom does not just refer to all the islands that are part of the United Kingdom politically. To me, it seems like the whole Sai Kingdom is a United Kingdom, isn't it?
That is absolutely true. And I think for me, the biggest point here is that we've done country pilgrimages before, but to have all European countries join and come as a zone with different languages, like how Brother Tony mentioned, 27 different languages. We don't understand each other, but the love that has brought us together in this most precious year, centenary year, and be here together as one from the zone is an amazing experience itself.
And I think diversity is never a challenge for us, because Prashanti is that place where, as you said, each one feels that they are connected to the other.
Correct.
Each one feels that, you don't need introduction to speak to another person, because Sairam is the introduction. And then and everybody is your family, isn't it? And you're coming from France. How has it been for the devotees from that region?
So France is right now not, it's a small, it's not a big group yet. So maybe in future will come as a big group. But they did join in a lot of sadhana meetings, and they were part of a lot of prayer meetings as well. So it was a very good transformation experience for them. For personal reasons, they could not come. But they've all, especially we had few Bal Vikas children, and they had never come to India. So they were very excited to come. But they're part of this journey, so we are hopefully we'll all come back again. But personally, I think this is a beautiful opportunity, especially it's a centenary year. And I personally had a moment with Swami when I had presented a French Tapovanam that we actually offered to Swami. So Tapovanam has been translated in French officially, which was offered this year on Aradhana Day in our local temple. But I offered it to Swami a couple of days back. So that was my personal moment with Swami in this pilgrimage.
Beautiful. When you think about it, yes, there are a few people who have come. I'm saying a few people because when you think about the number of people who would have wanted to come, whose hearts are with this group, and I think it's a very big number, and not everyone also perhaps will have the kind of resource also to come. And I'm sure when it comes to the sadhana, doing that sadhana to come to Prashanti Nilayam, I think everybody wants to do that sadhana. Everybody is part of that sadhana. Perhaps some of them have come, some of them could not come, some of them never thought they will come, but they have managed to come. I think that's what Prashanti is. It's a mysterious place. Whoever Bhagwan wills, only they come. But we know that if the yearning is there, Bhagwan definitely gives you that opportunity. But all I wanted to say is, I know there is so much that went behind the scenes in making this pilgrimage. A lot of sadhana went in, a lot of homework went in, a lot of prayer went in, a lot of penance went into it. And I think you should share about that, about how everything that we are seeing now is a culmination of I would say weeks and months and years of beautiful effort. And I think that is something which is not just limited to this group. I think there are a lot of people are involved in that.
May I give you an example of a Leela that Swami did on a devotee? So there is an Italian devotee who has a group, and last year, as part of their sadhana, they traveled around singing bhajans and motivating devotees in Italy. This devotee had a deep yearning to come to Prashanti Nilayam, didn't know the language, didn't know how it would be possible, and how does one get to Swami's doors. In January, this person had a dream where Swami came into their dream and said, I want you to come to Prashanti Nilayam. I am waiting for you. This person woke up and thought, okay, I'm dying to come to Prashanti. How? Who do I contact? How does one go about this? A few days later, we had launched the invitation for the Zone 6 pilgrimage. Somehow, via a person, this landed in her inbox, her email inbox. She read it and she had goosebumps. She couldn't believe that a pilgrimage was going from Europe. So she said, okay, the next thing is, who do I speak to? It had my phone number, it had my contact details. She rang me up. Her English is very poor. My Italian is terrible. But somehow we spoke and we worked out what she needed to do. And then in the conversation, it transpired that it wasn't just her, there was a group of them. Then it transpired that they are singers, they are musicians. And ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, this was the Italian group that sang on Tuesday.
Wow.
They have never been to Prashanti Nilayam. They have never met Bhagavan. And you see, even after the Mahasamadhi, Swami is still calling new devotees. This miracle, this Leela of Bhagavan hasn't stopped. And when I say, I think you must all watch the video of their performance, the feedback that we've had is I think the love that poured out during the songs was something undescribable, and something I personally haven't experienced since when the symphony orchestra used to come, and it's just been very moving that this group of devotees have landed in Prashanti Nilayam, never having been here. They don't know the language. They're having to sit for hours and hours. Meetings. It's undescribable.
In fact, yeah, when you saw them, it never felt like they were here for the first time. It's like, it's like they're home, and you could see that love, that purity exuding from their beings. You could see that unadulterated love for Bhagwan.
Yes.
That's what you saw in their eyes, in their expressions. And now knowing the story, you know how beautifully Bhagwan works. And I think that's the experience of everyone who works in the organization, isn't it? You think you're doing something for Swami, but Swami has already done a lot. You're only just going and perhaps, in our own ignorance, taking the credit, isn't it? How has it been for you, Pratap sir, working the organization?
It's been a journey, but I think that is part of your spiritual growth, right? You come through challenges, and Swami always finds your way. You have to surrender to him. You have to put your faith into him. And I always believe that if we truly believe that Swami has chosen you as his instrument, then you have to put your faith into him. And any difficulties or challenges, he will deal with those, right? And it's also part of my spiritual journey, my transformation, because my transformation comes through those challenges, right?
Absolutely. And we were talking about what went into this pilgrimage. If you can share about all the little beautiful steps that were taken all through the year, the sadhana that everyone put in, which has resulted in the unfolding of this beautiful pilgrimage that we are seeing in Prashanti now. Yes, Ketan sir, if you can give us a little bit understanding of the sadhana that went into this pilgrimage.
Yes, of course. A bit like the Italians, as Shitubai just mentioned, a group of devotees that never seen Swami, physically never seen Swami. I want to kind of refer to the children. Now, a group of 543 devotees have come from across the Zone 6, of which 108 children have come. All these children haven't seen Swami physically, right? But the love and the dedication and the time they put in, and not just them, their parents as well, every weekend coming to London for a practice, whether it's the drama, whether it's the choir, and a mixture, because out of the 108, all of them are taking part in the drama, which is this Saturday, and just over 50 took part in the choir yesterday. And again, the love, the devotion for Swami was mind-blowing. I mean, for us who've seen Swami, we can see that it's easy to have that love and devotion for Swami, but for someone who hasn't seen, the children were amazing. So, and a lot of these children went through exams as well. Back in the UK, May, June, July are exam time. So it's peak time for them. Stress is already there from an exam point of view. And then parents, gurus are bringing them to a practice on a Saturday, sometimes on a Sunday. But their love for Swami is there, which took them through it. And I think you saw them, the spiritual growth, as Pratap mentioned, you see them develop. And children that didn't want to take part first, yesterday you could see the love, and devotees were going to them, not to any of us yesterday, right? Just say it was like a cathedral, like a choir. The sound was, electrifying, wasn't it? In Cycle and Hall.
Bishu, the discipline of these children, yes. I've not seen this in a long time. Having brought lots and lots of youth pilgrimages and having Bhagavan's physical form there, this was, I've taken a step back, because these children, their devotion is like, so when I asked them, so what did you do? Did you go out? Did you go and play football or do something in between rehearsals? They were like, no, they were chanting. They were reading Swami's books. I said, did you go here? Did you go into the hospital? No. It's literally darshan, rehearsal, sadhana, darshan, rehearsal, go to bed. And the glow on their faces, it's, I keep laughing to Pratap, to Sujata, to Ketan, and to Tony. One amongst them is going to be your replacement in a few years' time. Because the conviction and the, Swami's doing something. I can't put words to it, but there's something magical going on with these children.
Definitely. And the parents, the joy in the parents to see their children performing in front of thousands of people and in front of Swami, of course, you can see it, right? Because they're the ones that brought their parents to the pilgrimage, right?
Exactly. And like you said, many children have never seen Swami.
Correct.
They've never come to India before,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Never lived in an ashram before, right? And for them to commit themselves, it's their offering to Swami and the commitment and devotion.
Yeah, so because it's summertime in the UK, so generally mid-July onwards, it's summer holidays for 6 weeks. They only have, and all the friends are going on holiday, so it's that expectation as well, saying my friends are going. So the idea was they were going on holiday, and the child is the one that said, "This is the 100th year. You know, why do we want to go anywhere else? And let's sacrifice our summer holiday." Because we know realistically we can't afford to go to 2 holidays or 2 trips at least. So the girl convinced the family to say, this is the year to go. And the parents and the brother and everyone came on the pilgrimage as well.
Wow. And this is just one story.
This is one story.
And how old is this girl?
So she's only 14, this girl.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So their priorities are so sorted
Correct.
at that
And
young age.
Yes. And this is things like, obviously the parents, but Balvikas they go to every Sunday as well. Swami's teachings from that point of view. Other children are doing very different things. And that from a UK point of view, they can be doing very different things.
Oh, yes.
But these children have been, growing up together in Balvikas. And the long days here, right? I mean, we try and pack everything in the week we're here. 7 days program means from morning, as we know, Suprabhatam at 5 o'clock in the morning.
And obviously some of these activities are for parents as well and the adults. So
correct.
but it becomes a long day for the child.
Yes. And you're trying to fit the food in between.
Yes.
But then they eat together as well. They don't want to spend any time, with their friends, right? They want to be together all the time. So, yeah, you can see Swami's love just watching them. You see Swami's hand in all of this.
And then there's evening talks. So every evening there is a talk. So I said to Pratap Bhai, what are you doing here? Everyone's so tired. Who's going to come for the evening talks? The whole hall is full.
Yes.
Including the children.
Wow.
The talk by the brothers Ravi
Prashant,
Kumar
yes,
and the Monday Bhajan group
Monday
was
Bhajan.
amazing. And the children, all children were mesmerized by the talk one day. So we're really grateful to them.
I think the other thing to add is the pilgrimage is a culmination of all the activities that are taking place in Europe. Whether it's Spain, France, UK, Italy, Croatia, Bosnia, Norway, Netherlands, lots and lots of things are happening. And this was an opportunity to say, look, we know all these wonderful things you're doing. Let's go and take Swami's blessings for the 100th year. Only 543 have come. I have so many that are watching online, and they've spaced it. So some will come for the birthday, some will come for Christmas because they're part of the choir. So we've really spread ourselves out. Otherwise, I don't know, Bishu, whether Prashanthi Nilayam is quite ready for 1,000 people. I know Hanumantrao will tell us off. We have not enough rooms, Shitu. So yes, so we've spread it out purposely.
That's true because a lot of people want to come for the centenary birthday celebrations and the Christmas. So otherwise we would have had much larger numbers.
And I think the beauty of all this is media, right? Because I think people back home are watching it and we're getting messages constantly, right? The program finishes and also from a media center point of view, instant people are getting, right? Within half an hour, they're getting the full videos, live stream, obviously. And that's something, isn't it, that we've seen where thousands of devotees...
We've seen phenomenal growth
Yes.
for the last 7 months. It's been amazing. We have a combined subscriber base of 39,000 subscribers. We know that numbers aren't everything, that we always need to have love, as we were very often reminded by Swami. But the numbers attest to the growth and attest to the seva. And it's very special because you have to cater to all these languages. And I would like to point out something very particular that we have been doing at Zone 6, which is trying to salvage Swami's old tapes and some archives that haven't been properly converted. And it started 5 years ago. There were 200 tapes converted. Very important events, convocations, birthdays, sports days. And now the Zone keeps on working on that with a joint team, which we hope to salvage many more special occasions and release them on our channel. And these have had a big audience because we even have one video with close to 500,000 views. So, I mean, devotees are benefiting from something that stems from the zone, but outreaches, and, it's hard because VHS technology is long gone, and, sourcing, the proper, as Ketan brother did, the proper conversion machines, finding the best software treatment to salvage all that. So that's very particular.
And just to add, I think this is a wonderful initiative that Tony has started because it's our archives. It's, we have centers going back 50 years. And, all the recordings of, simple things like they go to Prashanti, when Swami used to give them interviews, they would come and give talks in the 70s and 80s of what Swami said to them. These are all captured, and Tony and his team are converting these so that then we can, give Prashanti all of our archives. And then, one day, in, decades to come, when you refer back to this, that, I think it will be worth something quite, is invaluable.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is the legacy that we have. And I
Yes.
think the biggest treasure that we have, which we did not have for any other avatar.
Correct.
If you look at CD avatar also,
Yeah.
probably there are
Absolutely.
1 or 2, 3 pictures floating around and
Yeah.
you still don't know whether it is authentic.
Correct.
But this is the only avatar where, he was so generous
Yes.
that we have his pictures and we have his videos, and whatever we have,
Yes.
I think it is extremely precious. And I think that's the reason why what you're doing cannot be described in words, the importance of the work that is going on. And the very fact that, you've had nearly 50,000 views for a video, it just goes to show about the hunger.
Yes.
There is so much of hunger to know about Swami.
Bishop, just the other thing to add, do we have devotees in the UK where Swami has materialized a plum. We have a devotee in the UK that witnessed Swami materialize the monkey. They were in the interview room. One of our devotees in the UK was the one that, if you remember the story of the Hiranyagarbha lingam that Swami is holding, that's one of our devotees, that when the person, they thought they were dead, and they put that photo on that person and they were revived. All these wonderful stories that, we're finding out and thinking that we don't want these to be lost in time.
Yes. In fact, when you think about it, if you go to the source of the Sai movement in every country, I think we will unearth beautiful such stories of how Bhagwan had reached out to all these people in his own way. And it happened 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60, 70 years ago. And just like the story of Argentina goes back to 1944, when you go back, only then we will know about these beautiful stories. And I think it's very, very important that we document these.
And at the same time, we're doing live as well. So because we have a lot of devotees now getting older.
Yes.
So we're trying to capture those, something that Brother Brian T. were doing is a moment with Sai, isn't it?
With Sai.
So every Sunday we release a short video, 10 minutes, 15 minutes probably,
15 minutes.
of
max.
devotees, isn't it?
And we have a podcast.
And podcast as
Sai
well. Yes.
Reflections.
Reflections, yeah.
Yes.
Reflections podcast in Zone 6.
And I think we all understand, if we are to reach out to devotees in Europe, social media is our not weapon but our tool. Because they're all in pockets. I get so many emails from devotees, in the mountains in Switzerland. They don't have centers. And I think the thing that keeps them connected to Bhagavan, as well as the wonderful work that you and your team are doing, are the, all the social media posts that, France, UK, Spain, Italy, all the hard work that they're doing daily to make sure devotees remain connected.
And like you said, there is this hunger. People want this. So I think it is our duty, right, to provide this. And it benefits not just them, us as well, right? It becomes our duty to provide this. And we also learn a lot from,
It's our sadhana.
when we interview people on their moment with Sai and stuff and share their experiences, it's
Bishu, out of the whole world, I think I'm the luckiest zone chair because my team are phenomenal. I've only been in post for 7 months. And look at the phenomenal progress already. Even Ratnakar sir said, my gosh, things are moving rapidly. And I said, it's not down to me. but it's down to what Swami is doing. He's quickened the pace, and it's like the devotees are waking up and they want to be part of all of this. And we constantly discuss. We have regular calls of we all need to move faster. We're pushing ourselves so that we can cater for this demand from our devotees.
And from your experience of now, in the last 7-8 months, trying to do different things at your level with your team, can I ask you what has been some of your most thrilling moments? Moments
Okay.
perhaps when you travel to different countries or you undertook different projects, and the way it turned out, or the way you heard something, or the way you expected something, but something else happened. It just made you feel that, wow, this is not. This is just Swami.
I think the first thing was I was so in shock to take on this role, because how do I get Europe moving? The challenges. But one thing I've learned with Bhagavan and spending I'm very fortunate to have had lots of contact, and I left everything to him constantly. I just feel that I am just the vehicle, Swami does everything through us. But I've got to share with you a recent story. I was contacted by a devotee in Lithuania, and they said to me that, brother, I know that you've taken over as zone chair and I need some help. I have a tumor, and this tumor is growing and I don't know what to do. I've read books where people would go and meet Sai Baba, and Sai Baba would say those magic words, your cancer is cancelled, but Sai Baba is no more. What do I do? And then so I said to this devotee, you need to jump on a plane and go to Prashanti Nilayam. And he said, but Sai Baba is not there. I said, no, you just go and touch the Mahasamadhi, just kiss that Mahasamadhi, and then let's see what happens. I said, we can, UK and Zone 6 has wonderful doctors, and the Sai organization has wonderful doctors. And, first go and take Bhagavan's blessings, and then I will put you in touch with the right doctors. A couple of days ago, and I'm going to share this in my talk, the devotee sent me a letter to say that the consultants in Lithuania are very shocked, because suddenly, before chemo, before all the treatments they do for cancer, the tumor started shrinking. And it sent goosebumps down me that the role that each one of us have is so important. It's not about getting on platforms and giving talks. It's not about, how many homeless people we serve. It's about reaching out to each and every devotee and reminding them that Bhagavan still lives in Prashanti Nilayam. Whether he's physically there or not there, I personally feel his power and majesty is tenfold, hundredfold, thousandfold. Because, if just touching the Mahasamadhi can shrink a tumor, imagine what Swami is doing silently without us knowing.
Way back in the 70s, Swami had told a devotee that in times to come, I will sleep here and give darshan. And the devotee did not understand. He said, Swami, what are you saying? You will walk and give darshan, you will sit and give darshan, you will stand and give darshan. You're saying, I will sleep and give darshan. Only, after 2011, when that devotee was reflecting this, that's when it struck. And what you're saying is so true, because his energy is there and can be felt as powerfully as it always was. And it's for us to connect. And I think that magic is happening, and that's the reason why people have to just come to Prashanti Nilayam, and nothing else needs to be done, isn't it? Prashanti will do its own magic. How was it for you, Sujata madam? In France, interacting with the devotees there, and what has been your connect with Swami?
Yeah, so this is very, very beautiful story. So last November for Baba's birthday, I was here, and I had a flight next day, November 24th, after morning darshan. So I had an hour or so. So I was browsing in the bookstall just opposite the South Indian canteen, and a gentleman walked in while I was browsing. A gentleman happened to be a French gentleman, but not from France, from some other country, and he inquired about Swami's books in France and French. Sorry, uncle who was managing the bookstall, he said, no, we don't have any French books. And I just suddenly turned and I said, Uncle, you don't even have Tapovanam? I mean, I believe that Tapovanam is the first thing everybody should have. You don't even have Tapovanam? How can you not have French Tapovanam? And he said, who are you? And obviously, very nicely. And then I said to him, like, I've just moved in France and I'm really keen to know why you don't have Tapovanam. He said, okay, if you have a center, why don't you write the French Tapovanam, translate it? I said, I don't know French. And then he said, just sat me down. And then he said, you know what you need to do? You need to organize a project team. And he just basically planned it for me. How I need to go about translating the French Tapovanam. Take 5 young adults. This is how you should do. This is how you should do. And it didn't strike me even then. Okay, then I went back to Paris Center in December last year, and I started implementing the plan. And at that point, France was still just an independent temple. It was not a part of our global council also. So I had just moved to France as well. So but I kind of project managed in such a way that we give them a deadline to young adults, and we offered it to Swami on Aradhana Day this year. So we had taken 4 months, and Aradhana Day this year in the local temple, we offered Swamis this year.
Pishu, can I add something on Sujata? So Sujata is my National Council President for France. She travels the length and breadth of France speaking to devotees. She does not know one word of French. I said to Sujata, how on earth do you converse with the French if you don't speak any French? She very humbly says, I speak, they understand, and things happen. And that's, we were talking about languages earlier and the diversity. When that heart-to-heart connection is there, we're seeing such wonderful things happen.
And this is the same thing with the pilgrimage. When we were speaking about the sadhana meetings, we used to have, obviously in the UK, we had in-person sadhana meetings, but with our European brothers and sisters, it was an online sadhana meeting. But like Brother Tony said, different languages, right? So we had so many people on the call sharing what the program will be like, what will we be offering, what would you like to offer and stuff. Everybody's speaking very different language. English isn't good. We don't speak their language, right? But somehow we all connected. And we brought this program.
They don't understand a word we're saying, but they're so happy just to be connected to something bigger.
It's partly because of the accents, right? It's not just the language, but the accent as well. So, and look how Swami's brought all of us together here.
And there's only one goal, right? Which is Swami and coming here. And I think that's the special bit, isn't it? It ties us all together. As you say, language isn't a barrier because language of the heart is there. Swami is in all of our hearts. And it's just to come back home, isn't it? I think every speaker this week has been talking from our side, isn't it?
I keep saying I'm the luckiest zonal chair from the Global Council because my team, they don't just administer, they work from their heart.
When you think about how Bhagwan, in his own way, has already reached out to so many people. And I think that is something that we continue to experience again and again and again. And especially when it happens in areas or in places you don't expect, then it leaves you in awe. And I think someone like Tony should share with us, how Bhagwan's movement has reached out to so many people in that part of Europe.
A beautiful story. The day when we presented the pilgrimage in our science center in Barcelona, there was a meeting, General Assembly of active members, and I started my first sentence and I couldn't end it. That we had just this devotee that said, yes, I'm coming, And this is extraordinary because it's really difficult from Spain to travel to India on account of the Kingdom of Spain has almost never had direct flights to India. There was a very, very small instance in the early 80s where there was a flight from Madrid to Mumbai. But other than that, we've never had any direct flights to India. It's a tragedy for Sai devotee, I must add. But so going back to the story, it's not easy, because it adds way more to the cost. If there's some hurdles, some flight cancellations that, unfortunately we had even in this pilgrimage. So many of us, we had to,
their flights were cancelled.
Yes, rebook our flights, go to Saudi Arabia, spend nights at extra cost. Well, these things, it's a pilgrimage. but it's hard from Spain. It's really hard. And also the salaries are the highest in Europe. Okay, it's one of the main features of the economy of the country, that same currency, but lower salaries. So the thing is that it's really hard to have devotees for such a pilgrimage. But this devotee, she really sprung at the opportunity, but she didn't have the money at the time. Okay, and she told me, I don't have the money, but Tony, please, ensure that you register me. And I said, oh, please, by all means. Then, after all these months, we weren't certain that everything could be, go according to plan. But finally, this devotee, she told her husband to accompany her because she finally got the money. The husband rejected. So she had to go on her own. She is certainly of certain age. And there was a circumstance that she had previously sang for Swami in the late 90s. And as I said previously, we used to have these pan-Hispanic country bhajan sessions that Swami used to love. I was in one of them. I didn't sing, but I was able to, see Swami's reaction, which was very lovely to the songs, Whenever somebody was out of key, he was like, oh. So it was wonderful. And he was Swami reacted to the lyrics in Spanish. Mm-hmm. So some of the Spanish bhajans, they were a bit like, oh, Swami, but you are so far, and I have these difficulties. And he was like, oh, whenever the lyrics went like that, he wasn't all that happy. Well, going back to the devotee, she had sung before Bhagwan, in the late 90s. The chance arose that she would sing again. So, well, we had for the first time, over so long, sing songs in Spanish. But the thing is that she finally sang before Swami on Tuesday, but on Wednesday, it was her birthday. And after so many difficulties, not having the money, the rejection from the husband and the family, she's old now because the years, they don't pass in vain. Yesterday was her birthday, and she was able to offer arati to Swami. So it was really an encompassing circumstance.
Wow.
And none of us knew it was her birthday.
No. It was totally unintentional by them. They didn't know. I mean, I knew it was her birthday, but they didn't.
Bishu, there's a force, Swami's force, that is directing this whole zone, this whole pilgrimage, each country. There's something very powerful out there.
Yeah. I'm going to give out a little secret. Yeah. One of the things that we've experienced in planning this pilgrimage, like I said, the love between the countries and how we were putting the sadhana meetings together and stuff. So the musical program that we're going to offer on Friday is called The Language of the Heart, because that is what it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
The languages all came together through the love, right? And from the heart. So the theme of the musical offering is the language of the heart.
And I should mention here that, it's not a common phenomenon that, you have a group coming to Prashantilayam and, they're performing day after day after day after day, the whole week. It just...
Is that a criticism?
We're giving them more work.
So it just goes to show the amount of preparation that has gone in, the amount of hard work that has gone in, and the yearning that is there to do something for Bhagwan. It's like, it is the 100th birthday year, and we want to make the most of it. We don't want to miss a moment. We don't want to miss a morning. We don't want to miss a evening. We want to make most of every second that we are at Prashantilayam. It just goes to show that. And that's what we see happening here. Already we have had programs for 4 days, and there are more programs. You should tell us about, what went into making these programs.
Bishu, we started back in September 2024 when we got the official consent from the managing trustee that yes, you can bring a group. At that time, we had no idea as to how many of us will be coming. But we planned it for centenary year. We planned it that we wanted to do it with our European brothers and sisters. So from there on, we started to put a planning team together. And it included the European brothers and sisters, Sister Sujata, Brother Tony, everyone were in the planning team from Europe side as well. And we opened up the registration. You won't believe within the first few weeks, we thought, oh my God, how will Perthi accommodate us? So, and from January onwards, we started our monthly sadhana meetings, right? And again, we were very conscious that children have 11 plus exams in January and stuff. So we kept the meetings every month. But like Ketan Bhai said, people were so dedicated. They lived 200 miles away, but they would still bring their child down for the Bal Vikas practice, right? And those that could not come down, they were having online practices. And this happened over the last 6-7 months. And every sadhana meeting, we were doing a countdown. We were telling people, we've got 144 days left. But now we feel we're running out of days. It's coming to an end.
There's also the unseen things, or the Grama Seva.
Yes.
It's not just about the performances, but during the day, a team has gone into Kadiri village, where I think 44 villages got together and we did a whole Grama Seva there. Then we've got another one coming up. So, we've got various teams. We have, teams for events, teams for sevas, teams for this. It's really been a monumental organization.
Yeah, we created subgroups for every item that we are doing here. So we have a bhajan group, we have got a seva group, even to get our own people to line up outside the accommodation. Right. So we've got our own people ensuring that people line up, they're disciplined and stuff. So
and not one crossword yet.
We've still got 3 days.
The additional,
Yeah,
I was going to say the additional thing to this as well, having people coming for the first time, there are the performances, there are the Gram Seva, but also the trip to the hospital.
Yes. That was, I think that brought tears to people's eyes. I mean, like we said, there are about over 100 people that are first-timers here who've also not met Swami, right? And they had the trip to the hospital yesterday. But just the emotion came out as though they knew Swami, right? And the hurt that they were feeling. And then we took them to the Swami's birthplace, the Hanuman temple, the stadium, just to give them a feel for all this. And we've had such positive feedback from everyone that it's been just being in Prashanti has been a huge experience for them. Not just attending the performances and stuff, but experiencing
But the
all
only thing
this.
is, they've read about this, they've seen videos on this. To actually see it, it's
live.
different.
When Bhagwan was physically there also, Swami used to always say that, you come.
Yes.
Come to pray. You come and experience.
Yes.
And I think, and we all know, you come, you see, and you're conquered. This is what happened when Bhagwan was physically there, and it is not different now.
Yes.
When Bhagwan was there in his physical form, when people came and they saw his aura, when people felt the power of his presence, nothing more needed to be told to them. Something happened within their heart and they knew where they are, and they discovered themselves through that whole process. And the most beautiful thing is the same thing continues.
Yes.
And that is
you just
why we
have
keep
to
coming
come,
here.
and you just have to come.
Yes.
And Swami is there. He's just waiting with his open arms.
Correct.
And once you come and you prostrate, the experience is still the same.
Bishop, that's the message. And that's why we're doing this panel discussion. That, if there's one thing we want you to take away in all of this is, please come to Prashanti Nilayam. When I say we have been spoiled, the ashram authorities have given us the battery buggy, because we have a lot of elderly people, for the entire duration, to take them to darshan, to come back. They've put fans in the Saikulwant hall. Constantly the managing trustee is sending ashram officials to check, is the group okay? Do they need anything? Is anybody sick? I mean, when I say we've been spoiled, that's an understatement. And so that's on a physical level. But on a spiritual level, it's, Swami is sorting out, getting, he's de-weeding us. He's filling us up so that when we go back, we're going to go back with even more gusto. We're going to do even more. But like you're saying, please just come.
Yes.
Please come and experience. Don't listen to anybody. When I say that as soon as you put your foot onto Prashanti Nilayam's soil, you know what? There's this loving embrace from Bhagavan, loving embrace from the devotees. loving embrace from the ashram officials. We feel very blessed, very special. And we are very grateful to all of you for making us feel like this. You know, I have no family in India, but when I come to Prashanti Nilayam, you're all my brothers and sisters, and I feel I belong.
Can I just say the other part of it? I'm from India, but I lead a very nomadic life. And wherever I go, I have a Sai family.
Yes.
So I have a family wherever I go.
So that's the beauty of
That's
Sai.
Swami.
right?
That's
that's
Swami. And
Swami.
I can say that very confidently.
Great.
You know, when I came to France, obviously I was miserable because I was leaving my family in Birmingham. But when I came to France, I found a family here. So that's Swami.
And in some ways, I think Swami's energy and vibrations is more intense now than it was when Swami was here. And maybe that's my limitation where, for me, I think those days where the music starts, you kind of think, okay, now Swami's coming, right? Because your head turns towards Yajur Mandir.
Yeah.
When he goes, you kind of, this is my doing,
No,
you
we
kind
all
of switch off.
switch off,
thinking,
yes, exactly,
Now
yeah.
you come, Swami's there and you feel Swami's present. You have to, as you say, you come to Prashanti Nilayam, the car comes through the gate and that's it. You're home. The feeling is there straight away. You don't have to wait
It's
for...
just the
Wait
love.
for the
It's like, you know,
that time of darshan,
Yes,
right?
the
Like,
children's choir yesterday, you know, they all performed, and our national Balvikas coordinator, Ronnie Ramdin, lovely young man, you saw he was doing the conduct.
Yes.
So the managing trustee met with the whole group in the Sahira Convention Center. As he was leaving, he spotted Ronnie. He went up to Ronnie and said, I noticed you weren't called for a photo next to the Mahasamadhi. And he's arranged for him to have a photo. Look at the level of detail. Look at the level of care that out of all those hundreds and thousands of people watching the children had a photo, they were given beautiful gifts. But that point that the conductor, the person that put this whole thing together was forgotten in the photo call, and that was pulled out. To me, that brought tears to my eyes. And that's you're going to the nth degree to look after us devotees. And we're so grateful, really
But that's
grateful.
what Swami has taught, right? The serving bit is what they're doing 100%, as you say.
Yeah.
Even before we got here, everything was organized, right? And whilst we're here, we've been looked after. So
The ashram was very busy with the Middle East pilgrimage and a lot of other state pilgrimages that were taking place, but they never said no to us. We sent our accommodation list. We said this. They've gone out of their way to accommodate us in every way that they could.
and not just for us, right? So every group is coming, whether it's a state or overseas, state, overseas.
It's
It's
every
back to
day.
back.
It's every day. There is no space. I have no idea, Bishu, how you and your team are doing the editing. I mean, and then suddenly Zone 6 comes and you've got a program every day, and the editing and the work that goes behind that. We're very grateful.
I think this year, especially, it's really a remarkable year, and it has to be bigger than any other year. And I think that's how you have so many unprecedented events also happening. But to be able to come to Prashanti Nilayam this year and to be part of the centenary celebrations, to be able to offer a 7-day program, and I think it is just His grace.
It is. It's definitely His grace.
It wouldn't have happened unless He had willed. We all put our little efforts, but I think it just shows how Bhagwan is still in charge, how He was always in charge, and he still continues to guide our way. But your personal takeaways from this trip, Tony, what are you going to take back to Spain from Prashanti Nilayam?
It's hard to convey because it relates to much of what's been said. But from a particular individual perspective, I must say that this is my 14th trip. But I haven't been, I last came 14 years ago. I was at the unveiling of the Mahasamadhi. It was a most painful moment. And I couldn't bear myself to come back because I would cry just at the idea, the thought. And I've also been very much attached to Shirdi Sai during all my life as well. And as you know, the Shirdi Sai's words, that I'll speak from my bones and from all this. So I can say that it is so very true. I mean, Swami can be felt so much, so intensely. I mean, but even as Shri Ranakar, the managing trustee, was saying this morning, every nook and cranny in the ashram, wafts the fragrance of his jasmine. I mean, it's utterly amazing. So the message I'll bring is that please do come. Please don't feel bad. His physical form might be no more, but he's more present than ever. I mean, really, really, really. So, yeah.
Beautiful. And give the mic.
For me, I think one is to go back and take all this love that Swami has given and enjoy that as well, but to share it. I think Swami is something totally different to any God that we know of, if that's it. Because when we share Swami's stories, Swami automatically puts us in there. So, the stories of Kasturiji and pulling Swami's hair, and that it feels like we were standing next to them and that's Swami's Leela, isn't it? So for me especially, is to go back, share this love. And Swami used to say to us on the Gram Sutras, bring everyone to me. That's what we have to do. So it's to serve, to share this love that Swami has given and bring people and give the opportunity to come to Prashanti Nilaya.
And Sujata madam, what are you going to take back to France from this trip to Prashanti?
So first, I have to learn a lot of things that how Pratibha and everybody organizes, because we are very new to Global Council, and our temple is very ready to bring France only pilgrimage someday. So hopefully that a lot of knowledge on how to plan everything I'm taking away. And another personal journey for me is I've learned how Swami recognizes service. Service is very important to Swami, and he has always said hands that serve are holier than lips that pray, and I have witnessed that yesterday. I 26 years back, I don't count my age now, so 26 years back I used to be a young girl with orange scarf, Kulbanthal, Sevadal, and sweeping and mopping the Kulbanthal, the VVIP block, not the VIP, the VVIP blocks, everything, and then managing the discipline, etc. And yesterday, thank you, Shitubai, for giving me the honor, and he placed me in that VVIP block. So that 26-year journey reminded me of the fact that Swami acknowledged his service more than anything.
Wow, beautiful. And Pratibha.
Like Ketan Bhai said, you've come here to energize yourself, right? Take the love back that you've gained from this pilgrimage, share that love with everyone. And also, how do you not only grow in your own spirituality, but how do you help the others in their journey, right? And like Shitubai said, what Ratnakar sir observed, how should we also be like that as leaders and keep a watch on that and help our devotees in that journey and make them feel that they're part of this big global organization, and that this belongs to them, right? And this is their home. So I think we've got quite a bit of work to do on all this.
And when you think about it, Bhagwan also used to say that you share my love, you
Yes.
share my message, I will introduce them to me. I will introduce myself to them.
Correct.
We cannot introduce Swami to
No, no.
anyone. He will do his own introduction in his
Yes.
own way, specific to that individual. But we do our little job for our own satisfaction, for our own sadhana of, living that message and sharing that message, living that love and sharing that love. And I
Exactly.
think that's the beautiful journey for each one of us.
Yeah, I can vouch to that. Because I was so new to France, it was only my conduct. At the end of the day, Swami used to previously say, "My life is my message," and towards the end, Swami used to say, "Your life is my message. How you conduct yourself is how I will be judged." And how France temple responded to this is the testimony. Swami has taught us how to you don't have to do anything, you just be yourself, and he will draw devotees towards himself. Yeah.
So the trip is about to conclude, and as the chair of Zone 6, you can be relieved that everything is going on fine. but I'm sure this is something that you will remember for a long time, and also whenever you think about it, there will be tears in your eyes, isn't it?
Absolutely. For me, I've already started thinking about the next pilgrimage, because we mustn't stop. There's a lot of work to do. Swami has put us in these positions, in these roles, and we must never stop. He said this to me once when I posed a question to him, and he says, whatever happens, don't stop. Keep working. So for us, this is, on the 7th day of the pilgrimage, it's not the end, it's the beginning. And for all of us as leaders, I want to keep pushing my team. We're going to start thinking about the next pilgrimage, the zone, and so that we can support everyone. We can all keep coming back. And just, Pishu, you said that beautifully about we don't need to introduce. We just have to go out there in the fields, whether it's Norway or Netherlands or Switzerland or wherever it is. We just have to show our presence and let Swami do the rest, and be that guiding light so that we can bring all the devotees of Zone 6 back to Prashanthi Nilayam, back to their home, back to their beloved Swami, where it all started for them.
Wow.
And don't please rush us in saying that the week is finishing. We want to savor this last 3 days, please.
No, I think from our experience of what we have seen, every day only gets better and bigger and beautiful. And I think that's what it is going to be. The organization is going to get better. It's going to become bigger. It's going to become beautiful because it is his organization.
It is.
It doesn't belong to anyone other than him.
Swami.
And as long as we have that interest, we have that yearning, we have that prayer in our heart, he will give us little chances, provided we live up to it.
And Bishu, may I just add, the Sri Sathya Sai Media Center has been helping us with phenomenal support, because without the incredible work that you are all doing, we are unable to go out into the field because we don't know the contact details. I know Swami is pulling all these devotees, but we as leaders, we need something to go on. And it's the media center, it's the daily things, the editing, the videos, these sort of discussions that you're putting out there. So when we go to the countries, they know us. That is our calling card. The work you are doing is our calling card.
All of us have to do our little roles.
Yes.
and I think that's the most beautiful thing. Swami does not need any of us, but just knowing that with him, we can do anything. That is what gives us that faith. That's what gives us that strength. And there's nothing impossible, as Swami says. Everything is impossible. And I think that's the most beautiful part of this journey for all of us. Finally, I think, as I said, I'm really fascinated with the word United Kingdom, because to me it seems like it is Sai Kingdom, So it's all united. What you see is
Spain
just
is also a kingdom.
Only France.
And Denmark.
Only France is a republic.
We call it United Europe to keep everyone happy.
It just like India is not limited to the geographical part of India.
Yes.
Bharat,
Yes.
according to Swami, Bharat, anyone who has rati for Bharat, but love for Bhagwan
Yes.
is a Bharatiya.
Correct.
I think similarly, and I think what we are talking about is this United Sai Kingdom that we see in Prashanthi
Yes.
Nilayam.
Correct.
And I think that is the spirit with which this pilgrimage has been done, and it's been going on, and it's really beautiful. That's the reason why we see his presence, we feel his presence. Thank you so much for your time, and we hope that very soon we'll have another conversation with your next pilgrimage, and we will talk about bigger, better, and beautiful things. Thank you so much.
you.
Zone 6.
Zone 6.
Zone 6.
Zone 6.
Zone 6.
Yeah.
Sathya